So this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and it is part 5 of this tremendous book written by Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran, and that person who's a really phenomenon that I just got blessed to be able to meet him. So it says, this is, let me see if I got the right place. I think I'm in the wrong place here. Here it is. He says, now that we've discussed these 5 dimensions, right, the regular 3-dimensional world in which we live in, plus the world of time, which is bounded by us and our lifetimes and our lifespans. Everything, time is very important to us. We think about it all the time. So the soul is a pure and holy, godly energy. The flame of Hashem is the soul of a man, and there is nothing capable of connecting with Hashem more than the human soul, because our souls are really, I guess, a part of Hashem. Now let me see if I can get this down a little bit better so I can see it better. So since ancient times, our Kabbalist masters have hinted to this soul power, that there is actually an energy within us, as the key to entering into the higher spiritual dimensions. Let's give an example that is not too intense and that many people have already experienced. The mitzvah to study the Torah. Now, one can do this without being especially attentive and by superficially reading the words, or one can be totally focused on the subject matter, concentrating on every utterance from one's mouth, really looking at it and focusing, being completely and totally absorbed in the subject matter, will manifest on a certain level a very real and tangible spiritual experience. So if you do this, and the more intensity you put into it, the greater the spiritual experience, you can taste it. The magnitude of the experience will obviously vary depending on the intensity of the student's concentration. Once a person enters this experience, he must try to internalize the feeling because it's so beautiful that accompanies it. This means that he steps for a moment without any mental dialogue and absorbs the sensations that accompany the experience, and I would say the spiritual experience, and that's what happens when people learn the Torah. She says, imagine yourself climbing a very high mountain. You're on top of a mountain, you're going up. Once you reach the summit, you are struck with the most breathless view you have ever encountered. At that one moment in time, thought has ceased, and the experience is being internalized by your entire being. This feeling is the soul connecting with the spiritual realm. This connection will be facilitated by the power of the Holy Torah. So if one gains the ability, I'm thinking that one gains the ability to be able to look at the Torah in perspective as well. When awareness of the soul becomes part of your perception, that's the part of you that is absorbing the Torah. The timeless dimension produces a different kind of knowing, a knowing of which the mind knows nothing. It's not something tangible. The mind cannot know the tree. It can only know facts or information about the tree, which is not the essence of the tree. It doesn't understand. The mind can't really understand Panemius, but it can know something about it. My mind cannot know you, but only labels, judgments and facts and opinions about you. There is a place for mind and mind knowledge. It is in the practical realm of day-to-day living. However, when it takes over all aspects of your life, including your relationship with other human beings and with nature, it becomes a monstrous parasite that, unchecked, may well have unhealthy effects on its host. So let's read this last part one more time, and then we'll read his little blurb. There is a place for mind and mind knowledge. Now that's just reasoning about this world. He says about this world, that's really what he's saying. This world is basically a vak, or is missing real consciousness of anything higher. It is in the practical realm of day-to-day living. That's where knowledge of mind knowledge is important. Analysis and constantly thinking about this and that. What will be the future? What will be the past? However, when it takes over all aspects of your life and not all you do is just worry or anticipate, as he's saying, that you think of nothing else, including your relationships with other human beings and with nature. So in other words, if this becomes your life, it becomes you, these thoughts that you're having, these emotions that you're having is all that is left of you. It becomes a monstrous parasite that, unchecked, may have unhealthy effects on his host, meaning if it's me, it's having an unhealthy effect on me. He says, Kabbalist masters, now this is his last verb, his last little words, his last words. He said, have hinted to this soul power, the energy that is hidden within us, as the key to entering into the higher spiritual dimensions. It's the key to entering in. Now, later on, he's going to talk about the concept of silence, what the spiritual dimension is like. Well, we'll get to that as we go on. This is Baruch Fleischman at the Tikkun Elevator, Kollel, and saying this year also for the Devekas channel of Rabbi Mimran. Thank you for listening.